Time. We are live now, and we're just gonna wait for Lee. We have Justin here from Buffalo, New York, New York State. Obviously, I guess.
Yes,
And
sir.
when Lee pops up, we'll add him to the stream. I think finally I see the comments live. I see the counter. We got Randy here.
We are a lot better at party rentals than we are at live streaming. I'm telling you that right now, everybody.
It's your fault because we never had this before, so it must be you.
I don't know. I did a perfectly fine live stream yesterday.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm hosting, so it must be on my side. But you're not watching the video. Yeah. So James, it is working now. It's all good. Paul, hey man. Hi from the UK. That's awesome. Paul's from the UK. Maybe I'll start posting some of these comments. Let me just shoot a text to Lee. Sent.
If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Justin from the Party Rental Knowledge. I have my own YouTube channel, slowly growing.
Yeah, so we'll definitely give some shout outs to your channel. What's your channel's name?
Party Rental Knowledge.
All right, you just said it. Snow removal. Again, I was up till since 4:30 doing snow removal because you don't want to screw up with that
No, you don't want to. And then schools, you got a low, very small amount of snow you can have on there for a set period of times too.
Right. Like I added a bunch of things to the contract. What I also added to the contract is I said the janitor or whoever is responsible for like maintenance needs to like if we're not there yet and if it's snowing, then they need to put ice melt and to put gravel on the ground, and that way it kind of protects that time between when it snows and when we arrive.
Yeah, it's a whole beast. We're talking about tents right now.
Yeah.
Are you done with the tents right now? Are you putting any up this winter?
I put up some like last week and the week before. I put up a 20 by 40, like a 10 by 20. So we last winter and the winter before, we did put up a few tents. So like in the winter, we actually did one in minus 32. I have a video about that. It was just insane. But now
I'm not doing that.
Oh, here we go. We got Lee coming in. All right, Lee's here. Everybody's here. Everything's working finally. And let's get this party started. So basically, we're just going to be doubling down here on Justin. He's in the middle, asking him questions. It's his first year in the event business. What?
As an owner.
As an owner. Okay, right. So the company you worked before, it's like Bounce House Company. Did they only do Bounce House?
No, they did college. They did rentals across the country, different events and corporate and all kinds of different stuff.
And like, how big of a company was it?
But every company that I've worked for is grossed over $1 million a year.
Okay, yeah. So and that kind of seems like almost like a typical size for a rental company, So I think in a few years, like hopefully that's what we should expect because like I don't mind a couple 100,000, but $1 million sounds better.
Well, they took a long time getting to it. Nobody starts off at $1 million their first year. Right.
And that's what I talked to Lee over there. He's extremely impatient. He wants to be a millionaire like tomorrow. I mean, Lee, have some patience. But he just he wants it now. But
you gotta enjoy the process more than the success.
Yeah, and I'm just joking, Lee.
You can enjoy it all. Why can't you enjoy the process and the success, right?
Yeah, I think that's true. So,
not that I'm very successful. I'm probably the least successful out of everyone and everything, but I don't care.
So we got a donation here from Tent Guy. Thanks, Tent Guy. Justin liked that. So are you working with Tent Guy? Because you guys seem pretty tight. Like you guys are pretty close.
We're not officially affiliated. I don't know. I guess we're doing this. It's his show, and I'm help co-hosting him. So say there's somebody big goes on his show, then he's going to interview him. But if for the most part, like when it's nobody else big and there's nothing really, really juicy, and you want to focus on just those two people instead of having three people in the room, it's going to be me, him, maybe you guys just talking like we're talking right now, talking tense talk. Right,
and we'll definitely come on your channel. You know, if you invite us, we'll pop by, and it's kind of fun because you guys are doing Tuesday, we're doing a Wednesday thing, and you said you might do a Monday, and then so Lee gets the Thursday.
You want to do a Monday?
It'll be like a TV network. Like every day you can watch something, and we'll talk events.
That network.
I think for us, what we're going to do, Lee and I, because it just seems to have a line that way. But what we'll do is we'll try to interview like different people every week, just to get like a different perspective and to learn from everybody. Because we post a lot of videos, and eventually you'll know everything about what we do. There's like nothing new. We can't talk about tables every day.
Something new happens every year. I feel. Like it's everything. Part of this industry is being new every year because nobody wants to rent the same thing. So new is like it's not going to be hard being new. Like you can only do so many videos about chairs, but you know what I mean. But you can definitely improve. And then as a YouTube channel ourselves, we're improving. We went from doing videos to live streams.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And Lee, what is that?
So speaking of new, like this is something just from like a local distributor of ours, and like look at those tent walls. Those are pretty cool considering COVID weddings. You know, get a love wall, like a little circle wall or a heart wall. You know, $500. It'll. I think that's pretty cool.
$500.
Yeah, it's $500.
No, never mind.
Well, actually, the other one's like $399. This is in Canadian too, so.
Okay. That's a little bit better.
Can't line it up because it's all backwards. I'm sure you can probably get them custom made from China or something like that, or that's what these guys did. But those things are freaking cool. Like,
that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, because like for weddings, those tents for like pole tents, frame tents, like having a custom wall like that, I think it is fantastic. You know, because it just adds.
I'll show it again.
You show it again.
Am I lined up there? Oh no,
you're good. You're good now.
There we go.
Yep. There you go.
There we go. Just so everyone can see.
I like the porthole ones. That one's really cool.
And that one's cheap. So yeah, so that's that. I don't know. Just trying to spice it up a little bit, show some cool shit stuff. Sorry.
Or even having like a company.
So John Brado, we answer his question at all? There was that other guy. You had that other guy's question up for a minute, and we never even answered it or even talked about it.
Yeah. I put it down because you can see all the walls because it was covering most of the screen, and so I was like, I'll put it up so we can see what Lee's showing. But so yeah, it takes it only takes 2-3 days, I think, to get your money. It's pretty quick now. It used to be longer.
It's like 10 days for me. It's like half a month. It's forever. Like my payments are just coming through from like during the busy season.
Really?
Yeah.
Wild.
Okay, because for me it's always like 2 days. Maybe it's in your settings. Have you checked in your settings?
No, yeah, it must be like my Stripe settings. I'm not sure. I'll have to go in and look. When I was working with Wave was great because the payments were there in 2 days no matter what. So and pardon?
This is all photo booth stuff.
No, they're both rental programs. So Les is on Good Shuffle and I'm on Bookable. So these are the rental programs that we use. If anyone wants to learn more about Bookable, I made a whole dedicated video, an introduction video to Bookable and how I switched over, and I plan to make another one as I integrate in. But enough about me. We're working on the Justin sandwich here, right?
Yeah, we do
I
want to.
use ERS, Event Rental Services, or Systems. Wow, I'm going to get a lot of crap for that. Event Rental Systems. I'm going to get a lot of stuff for that. But ERS is what they're known for. I don't use Inflatable Office. ERS is awesome. They're definitely a good company. Their customer service is outstanding.
How much per month?
Depends on what you do. Mine, I think 69. I'm in the smallest package or something like that.
So. ERS is great. I started out with ERS and I switched to Bookable from them. I just I had trouble converting during a busy season, and if
my
you're
ERS isn't fully done yet.
There's a lot to it. So
yeah, there's a lot.
If you want a very, very intricate system, ERS is definitely the way to go. Yep. But yeah, and Good Shuffle's great too. Good Shuffle's what Les is on, and his is very intricate too. Bookable is more simple, but it's great. Like it's just
to go with the theme for like starting from big to small. I did 99% Facebook Marketplace this year, so I had my ERS. I'd point people up. I couldn't do anything off the website because it wasn't fully operational. So it was more of like a picture display that I was paying monthly for. But it is what it is because I'm plugging away. I had plugging away SEO. There's so much stuff going into it. It's live. You just can't book. You can look. You just can't book. But you book through me, you get better deals. I tell everybody that anyways.
Yeah, and about Good Shuffle, because I use, like Lee mentioned, I use Good Shuffle. And it's great also. So it sounds like all these companies are great.
ERS is a bounce house thing, I feel too.
It's kind of specific to bounce houses.
No, it's about if you have bounce houses, it makes your life a lot easier. But you don't need necessarily all that if you don't have anything incredible like a lot of tents and a lot of bounce houses. Like you can definitely do a tent game out of there too. But there's probably better software for just tents than ERS. But as far as like inflatables go, and if you want to do everything else with it, ERS is the way to go.
ERS will get you though. They'll get you with your item amounts, and they'll group them, and they'll if you're a small size company, they might not be for you. I mean, that's why they weren't for me, because I was just too small to justify jumping right in.
Yeah, you definitely want to be small. I had 0 units to start off, and now I have 20 and 15 banners and 7 tents my first year. Definitely wanted that. That and the online bookability of it, that's what another big factor I need. Like when you come to bounce houses and stuff, online bookability is a big thing.
So you have 20 bounce houses?
I have 20 bounce houses and like 12 banners, so it makes it look like I got 35 or something like that.
Right. That's still a lot. What's your main manufacturer? Like, where do you get them from?
Well, this year, my business model, I bought all my inflatables used during COVID, but I bought them all from people that decided they weren't going to be in business the year before COVID even thought. So they were already selling. So then COVID hit, and boom, now they had to freaking sell all their stuff cheaper, because everybody's selling everything because nobody's making money. So everybody's just selling stuff. So the supply and demand, there was so much to supply. You can buy whatever you want. So I went and found the best stuff. I found a tent company in Pennsylvania that was going out of business and bought all their stuff. So I got, like, my chair video, you go look at my chairs. I got brand new chairs pretty much for half price. So like stuff like that. I just went full force. I was decided to do this already before this happened. I had a little bit of money saved up. And then I didn't plan on spending as much as I did, but I doubled down because I saw the deals. I knew what I was doing, and it worked. So as far as manufacturers, personally, I didn't have a choice, and I needed a water slide ASAP. So I bought a tent and table water slide, and that's okay. It has lasted me this year, lasted me a couple of years. But as far as I like to buy better manufacturers, more sturdy manufacturers that'll last me 10 years. So I can use them for 5 and sell them after 5 instead of a unit that's going to last me 4 and have to sell it after 2.
Right. Long term is definitely better. Like if you can find better quality stuff. It's going to last you longer. You don't have to replace it as fast. I know it's kind of hard to justify spending so much money, but if you're renting it out consistently, you're going to get that money back pretty quick.
Like, I'm cool with something that even if it doesn't last 15 years, it only lasts 8 years, and I can rent it out for 4. It's still a very high profit margin and still have 4 years of life to that 8 and sell it.
I think that the key, I mean, I'm not like a pro or anything, but like I've done my research and stuff. I think the key is just selling things at the right time. And then when you sell it, then you just reinvest that money, right?
It all depends on how good you clean it. Like, one leaf can ruin your freaking first year, put a stain right in the front of it. If you don't know what you're doing. So now if you keep it I've seen bounce houses that are 20 years old and still go out in people's inventory.
A couple of quick questions here, because everybody's asking questions, and I mean, we're here to answer them. There's 3 of us.
Yeah.
We all own event companies. So what items, Justin, and this is for you, because again, most of the questions are directed, will kind of be directed to you. You're kind of the guest on our little thing. Go ahead and read it out, and maybe do you have any items that?
What success have you guys had besides tables, chairs, and canopies? Bounce houses, water slides, snow cone machines, a very good upsell. Games. Corny Carney likes to say, it's stuck in my head. But yeah, it's pretty much just all the little stuff. Anything you can add to the big stuff, and whatever people want, you can put in their face, and they have the budget for it, and you can get them to sell for. And I tell people straight out, listen, you got a bunch of people, you got a bunch of kids. You might not, you know what I mean? You want the $150 bounce house, but how many people are going to be there? Get somebody else to throw $50 and $100. Now you got a giant one. So I've seen $150 deals go and turn to multiple unit events with snow cone machines, because people started like, whoa, wait a minute, why don't we all just pitch in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what about you, Lee? Like,
Corny heard that.
Yeah, what items, like, other than tents, tables, and chairs, do you have any insights on that? Do you have any items that are doing really well?
Yeah, definitely I've made a video on them, so you can check back. I'm always like, hey, refer to my video. Jump on my channel. But it is my barrel light poles. So I made some barrels and I converted them into light poles. No one else in my area carries them, so they're kind of a desired item. And everyone's doing a small tent wedding, so people were stringing them up to make those dance floors with lights around them. Those were going out lots. And then just the basic add-ons, right? Since it hit, everyone's been having the outdoor wedding, so they all need a projector, they all need a few speakers. They're not hiring a DJ because there's just not enough people there. So it's just the speakers for their own sound systems, the projectors for their own slideshows. It's accommodating those little things to make their backyard weddings happen. That was my whole season. That was absolutely every weekend for me. So was projectors, speakers, barrel light poles, podium, stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think, like, if you have tents, tables, chairs as your main items, people will always want the peripherals to go with those items. So whether it's decor, lights for the tents, again, bouncy houses. I'm not getting into bouncy houses for one reason, and that's because I don't really have the space to spread them out and dry them, and I still need more chairs, tables, and tents during the summertime. So I'm just gonna kind of stick with that for now. I might get into bounce houses. Like, I don't know, I see people like blowing them up, but it takes time, and then there's all these kids, and they all like are puking into the. I don't know if they're actually puking in, but they're a little discouraging for me. I'm already finding success with the stuff I do have, so. For now, I can't do everything immediately. I'm going to stay away from bounce houses, but it's definitely an option for the future. Randy Hamilton says, what do you think your next step will be in order to grow? So, Justin, what's your next step? Like, were you buying something big? Are you getting a warehouse? Are you sabotaging competitors?
I have a warehouse. My next step is to increase another truck and get another crew out and get another bigger demographic. So just take more orders in. I started out most of the year with 10 units, and I didn't amass to 20 towards the end of the year. So We're just going to push it out. Definitely going to get some more water slides. Those are very hot this year. I don't see that dying down next year. So definitely, I like the water beds. That, and it's more fine tuning my inventory because there's some things I bought that were used because I want to push them out a lot. So now there's some things I can let go of that it's all a trade thing. It's really weird when it comes to bounce houses. It's like a collection. Like a lot of people get, they call it a vinyl addiction for a reason. Let's just put it that way. When you start getting weird, so there's some things I probably wouldn't let go even ever.
Right.
That monkey one, I don't think I'll ever let it go. My first bounce house I ever bought, it still looks brand new. It doesn't rent out as much, but it rents out more than some of the ones I bought.
Yeah, and what are you what area do you service around your kind of location? Would you go 100 kilometers or you?
It all depends on how many trucks you have and what you have going on that day. So if it's if it's during the week, I'll take stuff that's farther away because I know it's not going to hurt me. When it's during the weekends, I don't take things outside 40 minutes, 45 minutes because you go 45 minutes one way and you go 45 minutes another way, that ends up being an hour and a half worth of travel. And somebody will always book that way, and you'll never think about saying no to the other person. You're always thinking, well, yeah, so I just stayed within 30 minutes. So this way, no matter what, I'm only within an hour of the next job, and there's always jobs in between on the weekend. So it always works out that way. But now if I had the second truck, I could do north and south and expand that 30-minute zone more to where they just touch in the middle. So,
right. So actually, I see the trend because before this video, I really didn't know. I didn't know you. You just came up. I came out
of nowhere.
Yeah, you came out of nowhere. So for anybody joining us, check out Justin's channel. We'll link it in the description below eventually once this video is live. What's your channel again?
Party Rental Knowledge.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep asking that because I forget names really easily.
I'll keep saying it.
You are the king. You are now the king of bounce houses, kind of thing. On the.
I'm not the king. I'm a nobody. I'm small fries compared to some people. I'll spread all my secrets though. I know a thing or two. I've been like I said, I grew up in a carnival. Then my first job was a tent industry job. Then I grew up around bounce houses my whole entire life. I grew up around tents my entire life.
Right.
Then I got into the tent industry physically, and then I got deeper with another company because I knew about tents. I got into a bounce house company and traveled cross country, but also needed to know a little bit about tents. So I started doing that, zip lines, all kinds of crazy stuff, stunt jumps, oxygen bars. I can go on for hours. Bumper cars, meltdown, toxic drop.
So your main draw, do you do any weddings at all?
I was offered to do a bunch of weddings, but it was kind of I don't want to fuck that up. So I was like, you know what I mean? I wasn't even gonna. I wanted to fine tune everything and get everything nicer. It's not even more about fuck it up. I didn't want to put the time into a wedding when I'm slinging 10 bounce houses in a day, because then you know what I mean. I got to order all the intricate stuff and all, you know what I mean. So I just honestly it was just too much of a headache. I can do a wedding. I just didn't want to. I was gonna put so much effort into not screwing that up, double checking myself, that other areas I would lose out on. So I didn't do it this year.
Right. So Justin has a question here. He's getting into bounce houses. And Justin, this is this is for you because out of the three of us, you're definitely most knowledgeable about bounce houses. So he's thinking wet dry combo, 15 by 15, maybe a 15-foot water slide. Any suggestions for James?
Depends what part of the country you're in. But if you're going to get a 15 by 15 wet and dry combo, just get a 13 by 13 wet and dry combo. Get it from Leisure Activity. Combos, you're going to rent out for the same price anyways. Leisure activities got some pretty good deals this year. That's where I buy mine right now. But it's a whole variable because now if your market is nothing but leisure activity inflatables, you probably don't want to put another one out there. There's 4 of them right there, ready available. It wouldn't be a good idea. So now you buy something more unique. There's all kinds of things I could tell you what companies to not buy from more than what companies to buy from because there's so many good companies out there. So only a lot of that's one thing I could say. Then price is another thing. If I were to say you want multiple inflatables when you first start out, and then as far as going to when you should buy right now because the deals are going from like now until December pretty much. Like this is the time to buy. Like people wait all year for this time.
Yeah. So, and what style? So John has a similar question.
So when you talk about styles, you definitely like that. I definitely have that regular ones. I stay out of single inflatables, just regular 13 by 13s and 15 by 15s. If you do have those, get ones with panels so they can be versatile. One bounce house with 10 panels becomes 11 bounce houses. Same thing with your bounce water slides. You can get some unique stuff too, or you can get some stuff with some panels. Tropical theme always does well for water slide stuff. Generic, if the most generic you can be to rent it to a boy and a girl will make you the most money. But then you definitely want to have a couple girl bounce houses in there, just regular girl bounce houses that fit in the backyard because I have 3 of them and almost at least 2 of them are rented out every weekend this summer. So.
And and actually, this is another good question by S. I don't know how he got that YouTube channel name, S. I would assume it might have been taken. So good on you for getting a 1-letter YouTube channel there. That's pretty impressive. I think that's impressive because I assume most of the 1 letters are taken. But anyways, got here late. COVID restrictions. How are you guys keeping alive? Here, no groups larger than 25. Do you think that will change next year? Lee, what do you? Let's go to you for a bit. You're just quietly sitting there, looking good, but just quietly. So we need some questions. From you.
Okay, so I think it's different per region, right? So like everyone has their own specific regions. Me and Les are quite close, but even like we're 8 hours apart. Even there's a significant difference between me and Les and what's going on in our provinces. Right now, we're pretty much only allowed to have 15 people inside a house. It's snowing out, so no one's having outside events. Nothing's coming in. Nothing at all is coming in. The bookings, just nothing. Next year is going to be another COVID year. I know it is. It's just the cases are going to keep rolling. People can't stay away for 2 weeks and just kill this thing out. It's not going to happen. So it's just going to be yeah.
Statistically, I've heard that every pandemic in history is like the after effect has been 18 months. Second and this wave. Is a different one and new. So 18 months. So that's June at least. I paid my winter rent this year. It's all. I just wanted to chime in.
I'm dead. I've got nothing going on, and there's going to be another COVID summer. So that's okay with me because I always had my business as like a small thing because I just didn't have all the stuff to do big events. But I bought so much inventory that now I can do multiple small parties, and I am so prepared for next year. I'm going to just take it by the nuts. And so it doesn't. I'm happy. I'm happy about it. I mean, as happy as I could be because now I could probably fill all that corporate, but there's not going to be any corporate. I'm still going to try and grab for it, but there's going to be another year of COVID. So try and work that angle if you can. Work the COVID angle.
It's really messed up because I know a lot of companies that were actually geared to mainly corporate, and then they're like, oh, dude, I had to buy like 20, 30 water slides because I didn't have any. It's all backyard. So then it's my first year in business, so I was buying. It was the perfect time for me to buy. Like it helped me tremendously. A lot of my competition had to struggle. Everyone went online. So, and okay with an online presence, I guess. I guess I'm a little bit online savvy, per se. So just all the things lined up for me, and I guess Les too, right?
So, the other thing is, I think like as the temperature goes up in the springtime, there will be less cases. Just like it was like kind of early spring to summertime, like cases went way down, even though people started like hanging out outside more. There's been more weddings, more get together, less restrictions. So as the temperature warms up, cases will definitely go down, and there will be like larger groups allowed for sure. Just like it was last year, you'll see it'll be again this year, and eventually, it'll go away, and it might be very busy because people are so cooped up that they want to party.
Here's like an industry perspective thing. So you guys all do tents. How many chairs? You guys weren't putting as nearly amount of chairs and tables underneath those tents when you were selling the tents. Normally, you sell the tent full of tables and chairs as well. Like you're selling half that, if any, right?
Right. No, exactly.
So if I were to speculate on that, and if you want, I would get more small tents and just keep the same amount of table and chair inventory. You might be able to push more out if you were gonna try and tackle this in any way, per se.
Right. At the same time, people want more space between like everybody sitting and stuff. So we actually found like
chairs.
Big tents were still going out quite a bit because people were renting a bigger tent than normally because they wanted people to be more spread out. So we found like the big tents, like the small ones, they were all going out this season. And thank goodness. And people moved from indoor venues where the restrictions are bigger to outdoor venues where they could have more people. And so it ended up being okay if you like us, you're tent heavy or you're outdoor heavy. If you're indoor heavy, that might be really tough.
Guys, I'm so sorry, but I gotta get going here. I I didn't even talk much on this live stream. I'm so sorry. I'll make it up to everyone. Usually I'm a big animated character. It's just with the technical difficulties that we had at the start. It used up my time slot, and I do have to exit the live stream.
Yeah,
it's okay. We'll see you next week.
Okay, so if you haven't heard of Lee, I'm sure if you've heard of Lee, if you're on this live stream here, but his channel is the Bartending Event Rental Photo Booth and Guide. It's the longest name ever. It's ridiculous, but check it out. It'll be in the description.
Why are you talking?
Okay,
you're making fun of his name.
Finish.
Let's get some business done. This is Gorsballion.
Yeah, exactly. I know you're the only one helping me. I'm trying here.
I'm sorry. I wanted to make this better, but we'll get better. I'm still learning how to live stream. So yeah, but I've got parent teacher interviews over a live stream. So I'm jumping from a live stream to another live stream. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
all right.
Justin and I will finish off 5 minutes, answer a few more questions. You take it easy.
You stay classy.
Okay, so Justin, where would you recommend getting art panels for your bouncers?
Okay, you get them wherever they're sold. The Ninja Jump and Magic Jump are awesome. You got to pay attention to the size of your panels before you order your panels. So that's going to narrow down your different places like that. So yeah, Ninja Jump makes a lot of licensed panels. Do not buy unlicensed panels. Your competition is going to decide that they don't like you one year, or they got something over you, and they're just going to call on you, and you're going to get a cease and desist letter. You're going to get all scared, or you're going to get sued and cry and be broke and sad. Right.
Another bounce house question. Drying your water inflatable. Do you dry after every rental, or do you get out enough consistently that you don't have to dry every time? How many days could you let one go before drying? That's a really good question, actually.
So my water ones, I clean them before and after every use. So if you pay attention to that, if you clean it before, if you clean it after, that's really before the next time, is it not?
Right. Yes. Definitely.
So it's like I love saying that. People don't understand that too. 'Cause you can say it for the tent industry. This tent is clean before and after. Well,
Right.
it's really the same thing. So you clean it after every use, and then as far as drying goes, I'm not worried about it drying. I'm worried about it being clean. If it's a water one, if it's a dry one and it got wet for the rain, try and dry it immediately and tackle that problem before it becomes a bigger problem, which is mold.
Right. See, our tents, the mold, especially for the bigger tents, the marquee tents, the frame tents, the pole tents, like mold seems to come off quite easily, and you can leave it wet for quite a long time. But I'm guessing with bounce houses, that's not.
There's tight spaces, enclosed spaces
Right.
with dark spots and stuff inside places where sometimes it just heats up all day, and it's just bad. Then you got people's feet running around in it all day. So like it's just it's just a growing ground for bacteria, so they need to be cleaned.
Yeah, so I suppose dry, like the sooner the better, really, that answers the question. Like dry as soon as possible.
We use Go Green Pro number 5 because it's a disinfectant and a sanitizer.
S says thank you for the videos. He's shifting his food business is going down. Yeah, too bad for that. And he's shifting to events. Good luck with the events. Yeah, I just bought a guy out. So it seems like, you were saying that you were buying a bunch of company equipment. And I mean, it's a good time right now to buy. Obviously, you need a little bit of money in the bank. But if you're going to do this for the long term, for the long run, eventually COVID's going to go away. I mean, this is a great time to buy, I think. And like, you're buying like crazy, like, and for good prices. So, take Justin's kind of technique of buying
brand new tables that are $120. I got for $60. I got a whole entire 10-piece pedestal rack with all 10 pedestals in it for I think like $600.
Right, that's crazy.
The rack itself is $300.
Right, that's crazy because those things are crazy expensive.
And they're less than a year old, less than 2 years old, well taken care of.
James is saying, do you clean at the customers or do you like bring it back and reopen?
So the key is when you pick them up, most of the time I make my employees blow up the inflatable. When I say most of the time, if it's pouring rain, I'm getting out of there. So you blow up the inflatable when you come back, so you see that it's not damaged anyway. You can tell if it blows up, pretty much it's not damaged. And then in doing so, you also see that there's no like shoes or stuff left inside. Then you give it a click, wipe down and clean with the sanitizer right then and there at the customer's house, like when you're picking it up. So next time when you go to a customer's house, I don't clean it right then and there during setup unless they ask me to.
Right. And I think that's a really good technique because, James, if you're to answer your question a bit further about what we do with our tents and stuff like that is like, you don't want to reset it up. It just adds so much more time. It's like, it's almost as if you're doing another rental if you're just setting it up again. So I suppose you have to, if it's like you said, it's pouring rain, but you
sometimes
really,
it's 10 o'clock at night.
Right. But if you can clean it like there and then and, or give it a wipe, especially when you're done, because the customer doesn't care once you're done. Before, it's a little awkward. It's like, oh, you're cleaning this? But if you're cleaning afterwards, that makes sense. The kids just used it.
Yeah, I feel it's more awkward cleaning in front of them in the beginning than it is showing up not cleaning in front of them. Like, as far as weird as it sounds. Because I work for a company that cleans in front of them like before every time, and it just you look so awkward every single time. Like,
yeah, exactly. You want to clean after. After makes total sense. But before, it's like it's a little. You can spot clean, a quick spot clean, but like awkward is a good word for cleaning while the customer's there, especially if they're like watching you. It's
one of the reasons I wanted to do my own company is I hated being the dirty bounce house guy when I showed up, and I don't even own the company.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because
another thing is, they're trash with mud. You're not cleaning it at a customer's house. You're bringing it back to the shop.
Right.
Sometimes it happens. I don't use tarps because I know a few people in the industry that put tarps down. A kid tripped and fell, broke their leg or whatever, and that's a lawsuit.
Right.
Tarping sucks. It doesn't protect you from mud anyways. You're just going to bring mud onto the tarp and then onto the inflatable anyways.
Yeah, unless it's like a small tarp, like that's completely underneath.
I use tarps to protect the bottom of the bounce house on rough surfaces.
Right.
Gym floors and stuff like that is the only time I use a tarp. It has nothing to do with if it's wet or dry or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, I guess at the end of the day, you're saving time. You less to fold. That's not a. I know less that.
It's less to clean because now a tarp. Now, once the bounce house gets muddy, now you're cleaning a tarp and a muddy bounce house and a muddy tarp.
Right. Yeah. Okay. What is inflatable Jump saying? He's saying I clean when I dropped it off and when I picked it up, but I worry about the water inside, so I'd set it back up. I get home and run and dry. But damn, that 19-foot slide handle.
If it's going out next week, you're good. You're fine. Don't even do it. Most of my water slides are going out every other day, if not every day.
Right. Okay, so we'll end it here. Lee's gone, so it's kind of like a bittersweet moment. I don't know why it's.
Did we get through all the questions?
What? Yeah, so that was kind of the last question. I mean, more might come later, but that's kind of the last question. And they're all good questions in terms of, especially for bounce houses. So give a shout out to your channel one more time. And
so if you guys don't know who I am, I'm Justin. The channel's Party Rental Knowledge. I talk about all aspects of the party rental industry, try to bring out product reviews, all kinds of things are coming. Might even start my own live stream every Monday. Still working on that, working in the works, working on the details, trying to make everything look pretty for everybody. You guys haven't noticed my first videos, like my voice sounds horrible because of this room. I got to put some padding in here. I might get a different camera with a better mic. Stop filming on my phone. A little bit of stuff just for aesthetic reasons, and then because I travel a lot too, so there's no reason I can't bring that into play. I'm going to Vegas this year. I want to film that for the live show in Vegas. Whenever we ever get live events, I plan on showing those live and going to them too, putting them on YouTube. So there's a lot to be seen from me coming in the next future.
Yeah, so definitely subscribe to Justin. And again, we're going to do this every week, Lee and I, usually with a different guest. We'll have Justin back on eventually, of course. And yeah, you guys take it easy. And we'll see you later.